Good morning, everyone. Good to see you all today on this beautiful rainy day. Thank goodness for the rain. Let's all stand as you are able and as you feel like it as we sing our opening song today. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster. It is so good to see you all today. The person who wrote that song, Richard McDeasy, is the same person who wrote the song that we always end our services with on a Sunday. I am the light of God, I am. Same person, and he is now an ordained minister with Unity. So, how cool. Welcome, everyone. It is lovely to see you all here today. If you are here for the first time, or for the first time in a long time, or for the first time since last week, welcome to all of you. It is so lovely to see you. And if you are joining us online now or sometime in the future, then on behalf of all of us here at Unity in New Westminster, we are so glad you are here. Thank you for joining us. We, here at Unity, we explore dogma-free ideas for full and abundant living. We look for wisdom wherever it can be found. It can be found in story and in song, in other faith traditions, and also in the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower, our primary example. We can also find wisdom in our life experiences, in science, in technology. All paths are spiritual, and we honor every person's right to choose their own life path. All are welcome here, all are worthy here, all are celebrated here, And our desire is that you leave here today with just one idea that you might consider applying in your life so your life is even more calm, connected, and contented. Let us begin our program today in a time of centering prayer. We begin by acknowledging with gratitude that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. And we give thanks for the privilege of being here at this little white church on the corner, where we can join together to sing, to laugh, to connect with one another, and to be inspired with ideas that we may choose to apply in our lives. We embrace the idea that there is only one power, that there are many names, many faces, thousands of ways of understanding the creative energy in which we live. And we believe that it is one. So whether your understanding is God or Allah or Yahweh or science or nature, we invite you to embrace the idea of oneness, that there is no place that oneness is not. And that includes each one of us. We are connected. We are one. And it is from this notion of oneness that we extend a blessing for love, for peace, for healing, for a sense of belonging. We extend this blessing to every person on the planet. We resolve to see beneath the labels that so often divide us and find our shared humanity. Today we hold particularly in prayer those who are suffering as a cause from the causes of war, from the cause of climate-related flood, rain, wind, tornado, fire. We hold all people in this blessing of care. And it is from this place that we give thanks. We are so grateful to be here, and we are so grateful that we can bless. And so it is. I'm in. I am going to invite Heather to read our daily word for us. This is Heather's first time on the podium. So happy.
Test, 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 test. Hi, everyone. I'm Heather, and I'm very happy to be here with everyone today on this Sunday. Today's given word, daily word, is forgive. I find peace and freedom as I forgive. Forgiveness is not always easy. I may resist letting go of hurt or distress caused by someone's words or actions. Even so, I know that forgiveness makes space for peace to flow to and through me. I release what has been, realizing the past cannot be changed. As I do my inner work to forgive, I also forgive myself for hanging on to past hurts. With each step I take in the direction of forgiveness, I open to love. Love flows to me as healing energy and compassion. As I forgive, I heal. Letting go, my heart feels lighter and I feel ready to move forward. My spiritual nature of divine love and peace cannot be harmed by words or actions. I forgive and feel light and free. This reading was inspired by Colossians chapter 3, verse 13. If anyone has a complaint against another, forgive each other. Just as the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. And now let's sing the song, When I Pray.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
So as we prepare ourselves to hear today's talk, I invite you to close your eyes with me if that feels comfortable for you. And if you prefer to have your eyes open, then allow them just to rest gently on a place in front of you. And as you close your eyes gently, I invite you to notice your breath. And I today read to you the wisdom of Myrtle Fillmore in response to people who had difficulty with silence. When you start to go into the silence, you should breathe evenly in the happy feeling that you are taking in great drafts of God's pure, life-sustaining air, which is being used by every cell and blood corpuscle. Take your attention down, out of your head, into the organism, your body. The flow of blood will follow the attention down into the trunk of the body and into the feet and hands. Thus, the forces of being, as well as the flow of the bloodstream, will be equalized. You should be just as fair to the members of your body as you would be to a neighbor. You would not expect to hold a neighbor's attention on one spot all day long. Nor would you expect to demand of the neighbor that she do without something that she should have. Nor would you burden her with more work than she should do. A little period of quiet and rest each day is your opportunity to establish yourself at the center of your being. The one place where the supply of life and substance is inexhaustible. Each day you should have a regular period of stillness when the soul may gather sustaining power and restoring life. The manifest man may have the sustenance that can come only from within. We should not draw the strings of this instrument of spirit so tight that the music of the soul cannot find expression. But this is what living in the world without withdrawal to the secret place does to us. now my words, reflecting on the wisdom of Myrtle. That every day, if we take but a few moments to center ourselves, to be intentional about where we want to live from, we will draw and find sustenance and energy that will see us through our day. When we fill our lives so much that we leave this part out, our lives suffer. And in the time of silence, ask yourself, where might I add a few more moments of silence to my day so I can connect with my inner wisdom and live more intentionally? Where in my day can I bring my blessings more fully to the world?
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings. And with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things.
Last week, I introduced you to how unity began. How two everyday people, having suffered in various ways with tuberculosis and with one leg being shorter than another, how these two people discovered a different way of being by asking two questions. The first question was asked by Myrtle Fillmore, who had suffered for years and had been given 6 months to live. And she heard the words, I am not at a talk that she was attending, she heard the words, you are not a child, you are a child of God, and you do not inherit sickness. And for her, that mind-blowing moment of, what if I focus on something different? What if there was another idea that I could latch onto? Completely shifted the trajectory of her life. And then when her husband, Charles, noticed that she was changing, he asked the question, what if I could do this too? And he was already a bit of a scholar, so he dove into it from an intellectual point of view. And in the process, lived to be 94 years old and walked without the assistance of crutches, as he had been doing for years before. And from those two beings, everyday people, sharing their story, other people hearing about their story, him publishing articles, and her writing letters, a movement was born. And that's where unity came from. Started at the late 1800s. Hard to believe, 1800s. Today, what I'd like to do is build a little bit away from the history to some of their actual writing, some of what they said, because there's so much wisdom in it that we can use today that when I started preparing today's talk, I had a really hard time figuring out what to use and what not to use. The meditation I used today were Myrtle Fillmore's words written in response to somebody who wanted to know how they should meditate, because they were getting so frustrated by not being able to still themselves that it was having a counter effect than what meditation is supposed to be like. And I know, I've heard people say that. It's like, I don't know how to breathe deeper, and I don't know how to stop thinking. And they get so frustrated by that the peace that comes with meditation is completely lost. In that excerpt that I read to you, it goes even deeper into don't work so hard. And what we see with Myrtle is that she's very practical. So, in order to put some sense around what I'm going to talk about, I am going to do it based on the 5 principles of unity, my version. And you've all been introduced to this if you were here last week, but it's essentially singing this to the birth song of Happy Birthday. There is one universal power, a network of all. Ideas lead to experiences. Take time to be still. The promise is you will live in peace. And if you look really carefully at the underlined words, you'll see they spell unity, so that's just like a thing. So I'm going to look at the writings of Charles and Myrtle using this framework to see what they said about each of these aspects of our life. Just so you know, Charles, I mentioned he was like the researcher. He was the, if there was like a head and heart, I mean, we all have head and heart, but if there was an intellectual, I would say Charles would be the head, where Myrtle was the teacher who loved children. So everything she did was from her heart. And that's not to say that Charles wasn't heart-filled or that Myrtle wasn't head-filled, but think of it in terms of Charles created this framework, if you will, and Myrtle helped to distill it into language that we can understand. Charles Fillmore wrote 12 books, starting in 1909, and his last book, which is The Revealing Word, was actually published posthumously. It was published in 1959. He died in 1948, and he was 93. Sorry, I said 94. He was 93. Myrtle Fillmore didn't actually write any official books. But what she did was write lots and lots of letters. People would write to her with all kinds. She was like the, well, some of you probably won't even remember this reference, but she was like the Dear Abby of the time. I don't know who it is today who is like that. We need one if there isn't one. The idea of people having difficulty, and she would write in response. And we have some of those letters. Most of them have been published in 2 works. One is How to Let God Help You, and the other one is Myrtle Fillmore's Healing Letters. And there's a lot still that have not been published. Anyway, in this framework, let's take a look at what Charles Fillmore said. That first idea that there is only one power is transformative in a way today that is just as unusual as it was over 100 years ago. It's hard to wrap our heads around the idea that there is only one power. And in Fillmore's language of the day, he called that power God. He also called it spirit, and he also called it substance. He also called it mind, like mind with a capital M. And it was the idea that there was a universal intelligence. So choose whatever word works best for you whenever you see the word God. If God doesn't work for you, some people have an allergy to that word, I understand. Then just put something else in there. Good would work. Mind would work. Intelligence would work. Energy would work. Just put anything you want. The point about it, though, is that God is the name of the everywhere present Spirit from which all things proceed. So it's not proceed if you believe in God, or it's all things. All things. The one mind is everywhere present. Substance is always present. So we hear this over and over again from Charles. The idea that there is no God and the devil. There is no spot that God is not. By whatever you're... It's like saying, where does nature end? Well, everything is nature. Maybe that's a good example of a word that you might consider replacing if you don't like the word God. And Myrtle had very similar ideas. God in the midst of you is substance. God in the midst of you is love. God in the midst of you is wisdom. In the midst of you. And this leads us to the understanding of that first principle and its natural progression. There's only one power. There's no place that God is not. There's no place that life is not. There's no place that nature is not. There's no place that science is not, including us. And so I then move to the second principle, which is a network of all, that we are all interconnected. Now, how often have we looked at a flower and seen the activity of God there? Moira brought me these amazingly beautiful flowers. I hope you all take a look at them before you leave today. And look at the perfection of those flowers, and we see God in it. We look at a baby or a puppy, and we see the activity of God in those things, and we say, God is good. And then we stop when we look at ourselves. But if we are God's stuff, if there is no spot that God is not, that includes us. And that means that at our core, we are energetic beings. And so Charles Fillmore says, when God expresses himself, he says, I am. And that expression is man. Now, today, he might probably, because even in the 30 years that he was writing, we see a progression of his understanding and wording about God. My guess is Fillmore would today say that when energy expresses, the words I am are what then flow to whatever will be. There was a really wonderful quote that I have lost somewhere, but what it talks about is that everything starts with this idea, with like this great mind, and you kind of pick from it, and then mind is behind everything that is expressed. God energy is behind everything that is expressed. Fillmore says man is God manifest. The truth is that man is a spiritual being. There is an intimate connecting spirit that unites man and its source. And that all sounds very sort of highfalutin. So now we get to Myrtle. Myrtle, in her letters, says, let's endeavor to look through the veil of personality and see the Christ within. So she takes it from, Charles was very sort of ethereal in his language, and she goes, if God is everywhere present, then that means God is each of us. Then let us look beyond the things, those labels that so often divide us, that so often just make us so mad when we see what's happening with other people, and resolve to see the divinity, the Christ, the God within each person. Think for a moment how our lives could change, how our planet would look if we saw every single person as an expression of God, by whatever name for God you might have. If we saw every person as God, we would live in a place of complete peace, because we would see every person for who they are, a child of God. So then, Myrtle is talking to married people. She's actually sent a letter that is called To Married People. And she's talking about how they should give their kids a little space. This is in the 1900s, early 1900s. She says, and she's talking now about a child. She is God's child. He has created her like himself, perfect in every part and free to express herself. Cool. How often do we not want people to express themselves? How often do we want to make them mind the way we want to do things? She's actually suggesting a whole different way of parenting. Each soul that is welcomed into the world brings its own individual blessings and gifts to the world. You feel the love from this woman. And where in your life might you be doing what she's asking these parents to change? Where in our lives might we be saying, well, they shouldn't be doing that. Let me go and fix it for them, or let me go and do it for them, or let me tell them why they shouldn't be doing it this way. And what she says in her letters is, let them. Let them. She goes on, I wish I could just spend a whole Sunday reading you letters from her. Let's not condemn ourselves or resent it if at times a dear one feels a spurt of ambition or anxiety, or fails to see things just as we do. Let's endeavor to look through the veil of personality and see the Christ within, and trust this God's self to come through gloriously. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. You don't need to bother with the child's speech or with the tendency that you call stubbornness. Oh my gosh. My dear, he has a right to be stubborn if others keep at him too persistently. He must release his own powers and be permitted to try them out unprompted much of the time. Too much attention and help and fretting, even silently on the part of parents, is responsible for the "I can't" habit. Suppose he doesn't do a thing as well as you could do it. That is no reason for your correcting him or showing him how to do it. Let him do it his way and discover later by himself that he can do better and better until he perfects his expression. You will have much more interest in trying if you permit him more freedom in doing it alone. So smart. And all because of an awareness that divinity is not limited to only me, or only Shirley, or only Catherine. We're all God people. We're all God stuff. What if we saw everybody that way? Because what's true is people will rise to the level of our expectation no matter how low. Set it high. I'll just leave with this one too. This is about schooling. When you become personal and anxious, you push and cause tension. The children may cram what is offered them, but will they really be eagerly assimilating and making use of what comes? Let them hunger for opportunities and for instruction, and they will open the way for their own progress. So cool. So, a network of all means noticing each one of us as unique expressions, recognizing we each have gifts, and when we uplift one, we uplift all. Then we move to ideas lead to experiences. This is my language again, but in Fillmore language, and the most familiar unity expression is thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Also known as what you appreciate appreciates. And what you depreciate will appreciate too. Charles Fillmore's favorite quote was from Scripture, was from the book of Paul, and it was, "Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind." He said, thoughts are things. They occupy space. They are alive and think themselves after their kind. They bring forth according to the seed planted by thought in the mind. Build walls of vibratory substance out of love. Send out invisible messengers of protection. They are better guards than policemen or revolvers. This principle that ideas lead to experiences does not mean that every painful experience that you experience in life has been deliberately created by you. So let me be very clear about that, because often, too often, that's how people interpret this idea. Instead, recognize that it's not a question of if, it's a question of when that things are going to happen to us. It's part of life. Things that we love, things that we really dislike. The power that we have is in how we choose to respond. The power is in the idea that we choose to use about it. Fillmore says, "Tell me what kind of thoughts you are holding about yourself or your neighbor, and I will tell you what you will experience in health, finances, and family relations. Are you suspicious of your neighbor? How can the great love and trust of the Father find place when the room is occupied by mistrust? Try the power there is in trusting one another. There's magic in it, white magic." And then he talks about, "Are you accusing men of being thieves and highwaymen, with that thought generating its currents of fear and terror and filling your whole consciousness with its darkness? Where is there room for the Father's aura of protection? Love and trust are dynamic." That's where this comes from. Build walls of vibratory substance out of love. You ever had that experience where you're just kind of miserable and then it just seems like misery is all you're getting all day long? Well, this is what it's talking about. In the book of Philippians, the instruction from Philippians chapter 4, verse 8 is focus on that which is lovely. Think on these things. Think on these things. And Myrtle's, to think lack or possible failure is to send irritating currents over the nerves. Like, these guys are talking science without knowing that the science has now been proven. And then she talks about our thought children. She encourages us to think of ourselves as custodians of our own thoughts. And that we need to train our thought children to express joy and love and faith, wisdom, life, and health. Watch your words. What do you speak? What do you think? And do they align with what you want? That's basically what this principle is about. Notice how often you're speaking in a way that is what the late June Burnham, one of my favorite people on the planet, used to say is no organ recitals. And what she meant is, watch how often you're complaining about different organs in your body, and instead focus on what you want. Then we move to take time to be still. Charles says there's a quiet place within us all. Center your attention within. The inner silence of prayer is a great source of spiritual power. Prayer improves the quality of man's being. How often are we so busy? I'm talking to me. Are we so busy that we forget to take time to just be still? One of the best strategies I heard about this is from my friend Aaron. Some of you might remember Aaron. They've moved to Campbell River, he and Gary. But he would say that he heard a friend say, protect your morning. And sometimes that may mean waking up a little bit early, which hurts me. And yet, when I take a few minutes and go and sit on the deck and close my eyes for a few minutes and listen to the sounds of the day and smell the morning and taste and feel the air, and then open my eyes and see the colors, I feel better. It's worth it. I encourage you to find your own ritual. Take time to be still. It helps to restore who you are with yourself. And the way that Myrtle says it is, the more you think about the Christ within, the more you connect with yourself, the stronger will grow your consciousness of the divine presence and your oneness. Speak to God in the quiet of your heart, just as you would speak to me. Then be very still and let love enfold you. Be still. Be still. Be still. And finally, the promise of all of this is that you will live in peace. Now, that is not the principle. The principle is traditionally described as, it is not enough to know these things, you must put it into practice. Well, that's just a bunch of words to me. But that's the principle. And we all know this, right? It's like practice what you preach. All of you are preachers too. You all have ministries because you have a life. And you interact with other people. Practice what you preach. So if you come to Unity, and Unity is all about acceptance and seeing the wisdom and the godness in every person, and then you go out and you're a jerk, or act like a jerk, because you're not a jerk, but your behavior sometimes could be a jerky, then you're not practicing this principle. But what's also true is you will not be living in peace. So this is the result of absolutely connecting with the idea that there is only one power, that all of us are part of that power, that how we choose to see things influences how they are seen by us and how we respond to them. That if we want to really tap into that eternal wisdom within us, we take time to connect with that internal wisdom within us, then of course we're going to have a peaceful life. How can it be anything else? Because even in the midst of chaos, we know who we are. Charles's perhaps his most favorite quote that is said to him, which was written when he was in his 90s, is, "I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forward with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me." How many people do you know in their 90s who fairly sizzle with zeal? Why not? Why not? Think well and speak well of all those who owe you. This is in his writing about prosperity. It is your mission. This is my favorite saying. It is your mission to express all that you can imagine God to be. Let this be your standard. Never lower it. If we can imagine that God mind is perfection, then, and is good, and is beauty, and is love, then that is what we aspire to. Well, Myrtle says, do you fill the atmosphere with thoughts and words of love and wisdom and prosperity? So she's much more direct. She's like speaking to grandma at the coffee table, you know? Like, well, dear, this is how I imagine it. Oh, dear, I hear that you're complaining about the other person and how they're always so miserable. I'm just wondering, do you fill the atmosphere with thoughts and words of love and wisdom and prosperity? Your everyday physical life can and should be inspired and happy and purposeful, not strained and tense. And then I really love this. Even as far away as the early 1900s, apparently, people were not living, they were struggling with work-life balance even then. We try to encourage our folks to seek to live balanced lives, being fair to the body. If you imagine the one universal power to be love, then live love. If you imagine it to be peace or creative, then live those things. If you imagine the one universal power to be wisdom, then practice wisdom. If you imagine it to be peace, then create a space that feels peaceful for yourself and for the people around you. Ideas lead to experiences. Be still, be still, be still. It is your mission to express all that you can imagine God to be. Let this be your standard of achievement. Never lower it. And your life will be filled with love and wisdom and prosperity. I bless you.
In the morning of my life, I shall look to the sunrise. At a moment in my life when the world is new, and the blessing I shall ask is that God will grant me to be brave and strong and true, and to fill the world with love my whole life through, and to fill the world with love, and to fill the world with love, and to fill the world with love my whole life through. In the noontime of my life, I shall look to the sunshine. At a moment in my life when the sky is blue, and the blessing I shall ask will remain unchanging, to be brave and strong and true, and to fill the world with love the whole life through, and to fill the world with love, and to fill the world with love, and to fill the world with love.
Day. Please join us from 4 p.m. to 4:45 on Zoom tomorrow for Monday meditation. We check in with each other, enjoy a guided meditation, and we uplift and acknowledge each person as we read the names of the people on our prayer list. To add a person to the prayer list, please fill in the prayer request slip found in your welcome packet. You can also send us an email or submit a prayer request on our website or app. Today is the last Sunday in the month, and it is the day that we celebrate the people who had birthdays in the month. It's also Potluck Lunch Day. Please stay and eat, even if you didn't bring anything. We have amazing potluck lunches. And after the potluck, stay for Cindy's Creative Cafe and Karaoke. This event happens on the last Sunday of each month. It's a chance for you to paint, draw, sing, tell a story, or work on your own craft project. This event is by donation. If you want to paint, the cost is $10 to pay for the material. Here's your chance to connect with friends, share your talents, and learn something new. If you like to sing, we'll use Creative Cafe Sundays to sing together as practice for times when we'll have our Unity New West singers lead the singing on a Sunday. Join us after the service and every last Sunday of each month from 1 to 3:30 p.m. All are welcome. Thank you, Cindy, for your inspiration. Thank you for all who joined for our recent gardening party. A particular thank you to Janine, our newest volunteer, and to Maxine, Glenn, and Judy. Our yard looks so happy. Unity of New Westminster is fully self-supported, and we are grateful for your gifts, which help us to share empowering ideas. Many of us contribute with pre-authorized payments, so if you are not placing anything into the contribution basket today, please bless it silently when it comes to you. If you want to give with a credit card, please scan the QR code on your screen or give at our office. For our online viewers, you'll find a donation link in the description of the recording. One of the most powerful gifts you can give us is to like, subscribe, and comment on our channel so we can reach more people. Please give freely from a place of abundance and gratitude. Thank you. We are so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you for being here. We are indeed blessed. We are blessed by this idea, this movement that offers these empowering ideas. We are blessed by all of you and your presence here. We are blessed by our speakers today, Pamela, Heather. Thank you so much for reading. To our audio-visual team in the back, we have a new person who is joining us and learning. So Janine, welcome. And then there is Nellie and Valerie as well as part of our team. And thank you to Cindy. And you may not be seeing the people in the kitchen who are putting on coffee and putting out food, and people like Shirley who arrives early to help set tables up. There's all sorts of things that happen. But we are blessed. As we move in, or before we move into a circle, let's take a moment now with gratitude to bless the food that we are about to eat. We bless the hands that prepared the food, the hands that brought the food to our table. We are so grateful. So grateful. So it is. And let us also bless the children of the world. So for this, we are going to say together, children of light, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the light that shines as you. And bzz, bzz. This comes from why the youth of Unity Days, they used to kind of pretend that there was electricity leaving them with that blessing. Which is actually pretty much exactly what it is. So let's move into a circle and we'll sing our prayer for protection and our peace song. And remember, if the word God does not work for you, insert your choice here. Super week, everyone.
And let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator, family all we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the light of God. We are the love of God. We are the power of God. We are the presence of God.